Hello, everybody. Welcome on back to another episode of Shapes.io. Let me turn the game sound back on. All right, so let's go ahead and jump back in where we left off. As you see, this number's gone up a little bit. I didn't do anything. I just was letting it run. Um, so we get closer to this item filter because I'm excited to see what it does for us. Ooh, interesting. This actually switches stuff around. Um, Yeah, so if you remember the last episode, I actually did a good job of fixing our issues. So we got here much quicker. So instead of me leaving this running for 2 hours, I think I left it running for like 15 minutes while I like used the bathroom in between and just like watched a little bit of something. So we're going ahead and closing in here and we'll see how this item filter works. And any second. There you go. You unlock the item filter. It will route items either to the top or to the right output depending on whether they match the signal from the wires or not. Okay. Ooh, I like this shape. I like that it's literally like a dial. Now, how are we gonna do this? I'm not sure. This one looks a bit easier to deal with. And we can actually get rid of all of this stuff now too. Because we don't need to waste our time with making this shape anymore. And if I'm correct, we should be able to go like that. There we go. That feels nice. This like botched attempt over here can be gone too. And so now the item filter, it just does either, so it's pretty much like, okay, so it's just like a, like I mentioned, a Boolean where it's just like, yes, I'm assuming if it's off, it goes straight. If it's not, it goes to the right. I'm not 100% sure how we would make use of this right now. So why don't we just like go ahead and make what we want to make instead. So we need, so again, this is another 4-layered shape. And we just need to deal with half circle. Ooh, okay. So I know this is probably going to end up being super inefficient yet again. But what if we set up a system where it could go through item filters and it's like, no, actually, we don't have a way of like, nope, that's not what I meant. We don't really have a way of like turning things on and off super easily. Like we can't automate the process of switching them around. So that's not gonna work. Because I was like, what if we set it up where like, you know, the circles run through here and then, you know, it could alternate and it could put some through here to be turned green and others through there to be turned red. But that's actually just what a splitter would do. So that's not really going to help us all that much. So let's go ahead and at least get ourselves set up here. Boom. We'll run you down. We need one for green, and then we're gonna need some more for making some yellow. And then we can grab some red as well. We'll grab red from here. Do a little something like this. And make sure it would at least start just kind of running things down in a general sense. So here is what I'm thinking. I say we bring our circles down, and we're gonna want to split them. So let's use a compact splitter. And so we can go, that's not what I wanted to use at all. There we go. So you can do that, and then let's go ahead and make use of our little thing here. And we might try and do the same type of deal that we did before, which I know means I'm not learning from my mistakes, I don't think. So this comes down like that. And then we want... Oh. There we go. So we want that. And then like that. And then this is how we start with this. And then we can actually create our something like that, maybe? I don't know, actually, what if we did it the... Oh, we might not be able to actually do it the other direction. That's the only way to line it up like that, so we'll probably want to move this up just one more spot. You go like that, and then when we copy and paste you, we can actually go like that, and then we bring in our green dye. And let's make sure that we finish setting this up, because basically what we're going to do is we'll be able to cut these shapes into corners, and we'll actually get a lot more bang for our buck. So I guess my real question is going to be, will I continue bringing stuff down? So if we go like that, and then like that, there we go. We'll bring both of you, and then we say maybe that. Is there any way to mirror this? I don't think so. We can only, I think we can really only mirror it in this regard. Oh, but you know what? This will need to do another one of those, and then this can get brought down. Well, actually, you know what? We can use the longer tunnels, and then they both can go same direction, and that'll be fine. All I need to make sure I do is get some combiners going on over here. By combiner, I mean merger. See, now we're thinking a little bit. It's not much, Sadly. But we're thinking a little bit. Now, if I go and do... So I need to bring you down and then like that. Right? There we go. That is something. It's a start. Cool. So now this should work, and then we do that. 3, 4, and 5. Well, that doesn't work exactly like how I want it, because we just don't have enough circles. Because we're splitting, obviously. What we're gonna do instead is just separate those. Doing a little something like that. And boom, problem solved. That way we do not have to worry in the slightest about what's going on over here. And so now we've got both red and green to just kind of do their own thing. Also, I hope I didn't actually misread the tutorial for do oh yeah, because I did that. You know what? Let's test this thing right quick. So we come through here, we can open up our wire slayer. Say we want that's about reader, so that's our switch. Help if I actually placed it. So we go through there. So yeah, so that works about as exactly as we think it, or as I thought it did. Where it's like if it's on, it goes one way, if it's not, it goes the other. But see, like, I don't know what the point of that would be, because I know I would have to manually do things. So that I can connect those up. But that doesn't do us any good, actually. So what happens if we, like, do this? Oh, so I'm assuming later on we'll get something that'll let us... Okay, so it maxed out at once, so it's like, oh, you've got green circles, then that's fine. Okay, well, so I don't think this does us any good for what we're doing now, but constant signal, okay. Don't know, still don't know what that does, but I'm sure it'll do something. For now, let's go ahead and, well, we need red and green dye for colors, so we will take something like this. So 1, yeah, we'll just copy the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go. Just double checking. Yep, so red and green makes yellow. Which honestly is always something that's been interesting to me, like when it comes to games and stuff like that, because the primaries tend to be introduced as red, green, and blue for computer spaces, but if you've done stuff with color theory before, you know it's red, yellow, and blue. Red, yellow, and blue? Yeah, because yellow and blue is what gives you green. And then red and blue give you purple, and then yellow and red give you orange. But obviously, you know, computers kind of work differently on that end. And you know what? We'll grab this resource patch of circles. And let's actually take you. And we'll also do a similar type of thing where we'll bring those in there. And we'll cut right on through here. There we go. That way we get ourselves some yellow circles. There we go. I feel like I should probably be routing these downwards so I can do stuff, but that's fine. You know, why take the few moments to fix it when I could just not? And by that I mean I'm gonna fix it. So all we need to do is be like that. Yeah. So this episode is actually recorded directly after the last one where things, so that's why if I sounded like I knew what I was talking about for what we did in the last episode, that's because I do for once. You know, getting myself back into doing it on a more consistent basis, hopefully. I want to create more content, do more stuff. Been thinking about doing some of this content on Twitch as well. Because so far, everything I've done on Twitch has been a little bit more like fast-paced than what this has been. But I do really like these games, and you know, they're kind of a staple to some degree, at least for what I've done so far. And so, you know, it might work well in a live setting too, where I can talk to people and all sorts of other fun stuff. Actually, right quick, let's go ahead and so we need, that's right, I also need white dye still, because I was not thinking about that. Sorry, I was trying to fix something right quick because, like I said, I've changed around my mic setup, and I've got like I've got the boom arm that's hooked up to my desk, and then I've got a pop filter over it, and um, you know, uh, readjusting things to get it to actually like work the way I want it is always interesting. Um, but yeah, so the pop filter like keeps sliding down and doing its own thing, and it's like I just want it to stay in path of the mic so I can like talk without, you know, uh, having to worry about my P's sounding like god awful. We'll take you and we can convert. I don't know. Let's say here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And of course, I chose actually like the worst possible one. And actually, no, wait, I don't want to get rid of those. I want to get rid of just those. And then when this comes over here, this can come over here. And we are off to the races. That actually reminds me, because in my head I was like, you know, I use the term off to the races, but I don't think I've ever really been to a race. And then it's like, I have. I've actually ridden in a NASCAR, which was interesting. I had a family member that lives in North Carolina, and they were like, hey, you know what would we think, or it's like, you know what, I think I know what would be fun. And so we ended up getting the opportunity to ride in a NASCAR while my dad got to drive one. And it's a fun experience as someone who's like, you know, the safest possible driver, me, not my dad, obviously. You know, I drive as safe as possible. I always like being as careful as possible and, you know, making sure that I'm not speeding ridiculously or anything like that. But after riding one of those, I can definitely understand why people drive fast. Now, obviously, on like a closed circuit, it's a completely different story because, you know, it's safe. And I'm not an adrenaline person at all. I do not like, you know, being risky and all that fun stuff. I know a lot of people, like specifically in my friend group, that are. I'm like, you know, I'm 6'4". I'm a pretty tall person. I've got good height to me, and you know, I'm terrified of heights. That's like one of the things where it's like, you know, I've flown once in my life, and you know, I kind of hated it. I was like, it's not something I actively like want to do. It's like, you know, I'm tall enough. I get enough enjoyment of being tall from my own life. I definitely don't need it. I definitely don't need anything to take me any higher. And, you know, that same type of fear actually translates over to, like, what is it called? Roller coasters. Do you think that I can support another chain of these, but replacing the output with some stars? I think so. Because I think... Oh no. We should actually have more than enough. that goes in there, and then this continues down. Because honestly, we might be able to just get away with that, and then because we don't need anywhere near as many stars as we do everything else. But see, like, you know what? This has actually felt like a good productive session, and I felt like I haven't made a complete train wreck yet. That's subject to change, especially as I'm getting ready to cross over these. But let's see here, because now all we need to do is, oh yeah, I'm like full on overkill for how many of these we actually need to make. But that is okay, because if we only need, we'll bring you and you over. And so we can take you. But you know what, here, let's do, we probably shouldn't do it so close to there. So let's go a couple. I'll bring you down. And so what does what? And we need top right corner. So we rotate you up like that. You, I think it's a full 180, and then you go like that. And now we have all top right corners. So that's good. And so you know what, that does 3.5 items a second, but it actually does like 4 times that because it will do 1 for each thing. And then, oh, actually that's gonna be a little awkward. But this should, does it actually change things? Does it change orientation? Maybe? Because what? Because I think we, oh no, it just seems backwards because it's rotated. But now we've got all top right corners for you. And boom. Go like that. There you go. And see, the best part about taking my time is that everything slowly but surely kind of gets faster. And yeah, so it was like, oh no, I actually need to do this the other way. So I wonder if this actually does what we're looking for. No. So let's double check what we're getting for each one. So this one needs to be rotated that way. And then this one gets a full 180. And then this one gets rotated that way. And then that one's in the right spot. There you go. Now that's right. There you go. So I mean, I say that we probably only need like 2 of these, maybe, if that. But at least, you know, we make sure that we've got plenty. It would help if I hit T. There we go. For someone whose name starts with a T, I constantly am like, I don't know where the T key is on the keyboard. And it's like, well, you know, might do good to learn. Wait, actually, take you and move you over 1. That way that can all line up. Cool. It at least looks a little bit nicer. Okay, so we've got you taken care of. Actually, you know, I'm so glad that I have this, because instead of figuring it out, all I gotta do is do you and you. and then push you in through here. And we'll see how well this keeps up with just the two. Because if we only need 2 for 16, what I might do is, because what? So the next thing we need to do is cut yellow in half, which will be fine. Okay, so this is keeping fully stocked up. So those two can go right there, and we'll actually do a similar thing. So we'll take you, bring you down right here. There we go. And then that gives us our dial. I think I accidentally passed them through. Yes, I did. Oh, that actually might just never move. So we're just going to delete it and make sure that we do that. And so that's fine. And then first thing we're going to want to do, obviously this is kind of overkill for how far I'm extending it, but we just need to combine those first. So let's go ahead and grab, so that's our base, and then we need to cut both white and yellow circles in half. So we can actually do those together too if we want. But that yellow dye goes over here. We've got those. Let's come over like that. Go. So we'll, yeah, bring this over here. Because I want something like that. Bring this over here. This can go something like that. And so for this, we only need to cut in one direction. And by one direction, I mean like we just need to cut the object in half and then rotate. So when we cut, that needs to go left and that needs to go right. And then those can combine together. That. And then we do same type of deal over here. And I think we can actually move you over, be like that. There we go. You and you. That gives us both top ones, and that's exactly what we want. Boom, boom. Cool. And then, let's see. So that's an F7. I think we'll do this 1, 2. We'll do this 3 times probably. Oh no, that's not the right direction. We want it. Yeah, there we go. So let's go ahead and get rid of those right quick. And we just need to make sure that we've got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom. Gonna do a quick speed test, and then I think we will call the episode there. just so that way the next episode I can jump right back on in and do some more stuff. But this time I feel at least a little bit better about our structure. That actually, this episode went by very quickly because I knew what I was doing. I felt like I knew what I was doing. So, but okay. As always, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like below, comment, any feedback, anything like that. And yeah, I try my best to engage when I can. And subscribe to see when I release content in the future. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next episode.